This podcast is part of the SJ Network. Go to s-j-network.com for more great podcasts and for contact information on publicist Steve Joyner.
Hey Ellie, would you like to see a magic trick?
Sure, that sounds fun. What will you do? Do a card trick or make something disappear?
No. For my first trick, I'm going to wave my magic wand, and I will make the Sherpa funny.
Oh, Billy, you're going to need a bigger wand if you want to do that. Instead, let's listen to the Sherpa's interview with magician Jake Strong.
Attention, rebels of the Sherpalution. Today's podcast is being brought to you by Audible. You can get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/Sherpa. There are over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. And now Mr. Bruce will lead you into the Sherpa Chalet. As a reminder, although our Yeti is friendly, it is advised that you stay away from him if you are a Kardashian.
Welcome to Too Many Podcasts, the podcast about podcasts. Now, podcasting from the Sherpa Chalet on Mount Podcastia, here's your host, Jim, the podcast Sherpa.
Hello there, Rebels, and welcome to Too Many Podcasts, the podcast about podcasts and so much more. You know who I am, Jim, the podcast Sherpa. Who else would it be? Your personal Sherpa, guiding you through all these mountains of podcasts right here on Mount Podcastia. Is it going to be a magical show today? Why, yes, I think it will be. Why? Because we've got a magician on. Yes, another magician. These guys are so much fun to talk to. Well, who's our guest today, Sherpa? I bet you're thinking.
Who's our guest today, Sherpa?
His name is Jake Strong. He hosts a podcast called 3 Questions with Jake Strong. And he's a magician. And yes, we even did a little magic during the course of the interview. If you're following me on social media, at Sherpalution, of course, you can check out that video and the really cool trick that we did. Had a lot of fun talking with Jake. Let's have a listen to my conversation with Jake Strong of 3 Questions with Jake Strong. Hello there, Rebels. We are here in the prestidigitation room once again, speaking to magician Jake Strong, and he is the host of a podcast called 3 Questions with Jake Strong. And at the time of this recording, we had a big snowstorm, so we were both feeling the effects of this. Hopefully, we won't have to do too much shoveling once everything is said and done. But I may have to do a little bit more than you because, living on a mountain and everything like that, it gets a little.
I have 3 steps. That is all I have.
You could use one of those little kiddie shovels for that, then.
Exactly. Yes.
Or a broom.
Yeah.
So, how are you, Jake? It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so very much. I'm doing good, hanging in there. Like you said, very cold. Getting used to semester 2 of sophomore year of college. Just getting into everything. Yeah.
So Jake is young, as you can tell. He's not an old student. You're 19, you said?
19 years old. Yep.
Okay. And you've been a magician since you were 13.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And professional since?
Yeah. So how it started was when I was 13 years old, I got a magic lesson and I got to take home a deck of cards and I just loved it. It was so many things. And going into the magic shop was one of the biggest things for me because I got to see all the tricks. And at the same time, I didn't know how any of them were done. So I wanted to learn how every single one of them were done. It was a very typical magician story. They see magic and they absolutely get bit by the magic bug. That is where I got. So 13 years old that's where I started. And then kind of 2 years later, I got my first performing gig at one of the local restaurants that opened up called the Pop Shop. And I just started doing magic around there, going table to table. And I've just kind of grown from there.
And on your website, Jake Strong Magic, they see you doing like kids parties and other like gatherings and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's been one of my favorite things to do. And I always thought that going into college, I would kind of grow out of the kids party and I would do just corporate stuff and I would just do things for adults. But I realize now that I really, really love kids and I really love doing stuff for them. I love the things that they say on stage whenever they're funny without trying to be. Those are some of my favorite parts of my show. So currently I'm kind of trying to find my own audience And I've found that the best audience for me is kind of families with the adults and the kids, kind of getting a mix of both so that I can do some tricks that kind of hit with the adults a little bit more and some tricks that kind of hit with the kids a little bit more and kind of bring both the adults and kids onto the same level. That's my favorite part about my show.
Yeah. I guess with kids, there's no skepticism. They're there to be entertained. They're not trying to look behind your back. They're not trying to look up your sleeve. They're not looking for wires.
And at the same time, they are dead serious with you. If you mess up, they will tell you. They will say, I saw that. So if you want to get better as a magician, perform for kids. They will tell you exactly what they saw wrong. A lot of adults will still clap for you, but if a kid sees you mess up, they will tell you immediately.
Or they walk off the stage and go, Mommy, I saw the little thing sticking in his pocket.
Exactly. Yes. That's happened more than once.
Were there any specific magicians that you've enjoyed as you've gotten older? I mean, you started very young, so obviously you've seen obviously a newer wave of magicians within the last 9 years.
One of my favorites, it's a guy who I've loved for a long, long time. His name is Justin Willman. He actually recently got a show on Netflix called Magic for Humans. And I kind of been watching him for a long, long time. And I just recently saw an interview with him and he was talking about how much he loves performing for kids. And I was like, this makes so much sense because this is why I love him so much because this is who I am. And actually the other day I was watching a show and one of my roommates was in the room and they said, Jake, that guy performs exactly like you. And I said, no. I perform exactly like him. I just right now, a lot of my personality traits exemplify Justin Willman. So I love how he's a little bit comedic and he puts a little bit of magic in it. And it isn't a lot of jokes. It's just kind of having fun with people. And that's where a lot of the comedy arises. That's some of my favorite stuff.
Talk about the kind of shows that you've been doing so far. I mean, do you want it to evolve or do you like like kind of doing what you're doing? I mean, it probably works either way as a magician, really. It's just how good you are and like you said, the type of show and how you connect with your audience.
Of course, yeah. So I started off, let's go all the way back to the first show I did. It was for a fair. I was told I was going to get paid, but then halfway through they were like, well, thank you so very much for volunteering your time for doing this. So that was my first kind of foray into everything. It was raining throughout the show. I was supposed to do 45 minutes. I think I was up there for maybe 15 minutes max. My family members were the only ones watching. All my props got wet. And that's where I started. And then from there, I've kind of done a lot of libraries. I've done a lot of kid shows. I kind of my audience right now that I'm loving in the virtual world, which I absolutely love right now. That is the thing that I really have been diving deep into. And I've been doing it for a lot of families, whether it's at schools or libraries, all that stuff. Because before the pandemic, whenever I was performing in a library or in a school, I would kind of find the stage whenever I went there. And there would be kind of sometimes things moving behind me that would distract from everybody, or there were so many wrinkles that I kind of had to deal with whenever doing that. And now that I'm kind of doing virtual things, it's very, very nice to be on my own stage every single time and to be able to control everything, what they see. And that's what I love about doing virtual magic recently, that I kind of control everything and I'm able to build the stage of my dreams, almost as if I were doing a residency at a theater and I were going back to the theater every single time.
So that's really what you're doing is kind of like a prep for when all of this is over and you'll be more out in public and you'll have an idea what your stage will look like as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And ultimately, I do want to do theaters. That's always been my main goal. I want to go around the country and do a theater show for a ton of families in every single state. That's been my goal. So right now, I've kind of built my own theater, my bedroom. It took a lot to put everything together, and I have kind of this backdrop that I really, really love, and kind of tells a lot about me, which I love doing, performing in front of.
Okay, so tell me about your podcast now. So 3 questions with Jake Strong.
Yeah, so this kind of arose because I was listening to a lot of podcasts with magicians, and a lot of people ask a lot of magicians kind of the same questions, and I was like, I want to get a little bit deeper into the stuff that they like. So that, and also a lot of podcasts, they can be really, really long. And I'm glad I discovered listening to them at 1.5 speed, because before that, I was taking way too long to listen to every single one in consecutive order, well, whether it was 2 hours or 3 hours. And they all had good content, but they were so long. So I was kind of like, how can I get into these deeper questions with these magicians that I really, really like and I really, really look up to in a short amount of time? And I kind of found that 3 questions is the best way to do that. So this podcast, I bring on all people that I admire. These are all people that I love, I look up to, that I've looked up to since I was little. And I kind of just ask them 3 questions, kind of assuming that everybody has a little baseline knowledge about who they are. And if you do, you're going to get new stuff out of it. And if you still don't know anything about them, you're still going to get new stuff about it. So I really enjoy doing it. And also, I always kind of add in a little question there that I always love at the end that isn't about performing, and it's kind of about who they are as a person. The last guy we had on the podcast was Dave McCrary, and I asked him about his tattoos. He has tattoos all over his body. So he was telling me the story about all his tattoos, why he got all of them. He had a blue dragon. Well, he's going to get a blue dragon for absolutely no reason. But it was cool to hear the story about how everything came together. And I've been having so much fun with it. This has been one of my favorite passion projects I've ever done.
So, talking to other performers, you think there was any certain pieces of advice that you got in the course of these interviews that's really going to stick with you?
Yeah, what stuck with me is that magic is something that you have so many different avenues to go down. And whichever avenue you choose to go down, there will be an audience for you and there will be a place for you to perform. There was one guy I had on who only does parties. And he says, I love going to parties where you get to kind of do walk around magic, which is doing close-up tricks, going table to table. He says, that's what I love. I love going to family parties, doing that. That is all they do. Sometimes, of course, he does stage things, but he says, I love bringing the fun to parties. There was another guy who said, I love doing just theaters. I love being up here, everybody sitting out in the audience, watching me whenever I do my show. There was a guy who does real estate full time, and then he does magic on the side. He teaches magic. He has his own little theater. So something that I've really taken away is that whatever I choose to do within magic, there will be a route for me to go down. And I might not be the first person paving my path, but if I do, there's a good chance that there will be a way that I will be able to find that and be able to make a career for myself.
So are there any contemporary magicians right now that you're a really big fan of? Like, what do you think of like the Chris Angels? And
yeah, I will tell you right now, Chris Angel is very mocked in the magic community. Magicians love to make fun of Chris Angel.
Why is that?
Chris Angel, he tends to do stuff that does not really align with actual magic. So I say actual magic, and I mean magic tricks.
Okay.
So whatever, a lot of things he does on TV are totally staged, everything, all that. So that's definitely gotten him a bad rap. Admittedly, I have not seen his show in person. And so I don't know how it is in person. I have to guess it's going to be a lot different in person. But Chris Angel definitely, for the magic community as a whole, was a little bit made fun of. David Blaine, of course, one of my favorites. I just saw his special the other day where he held all the balloons and he just ascended into the sky. And that was awesome to see. That was something I didn't expect from him. Didn't expect from any magicians. I love him. Of course, Penn and Teller on Penn and Teller Fool Us. Some of the best of the best. They are by far some of the most respected magicians that I know out of both the magic community and everybody who loves magic. They are awesome. They're so giving to everyone. And I saw them live in Atlantic City. I want to say about a year or two ago. And it was so cool because after each show, they come out and they greet every single person that wants to say hi to them. They don't do a meet and greet. They don't do any of that. They shake everybody's hand who wants to shake hands with them. So I thought that was awesome to show how great guys they are. So I absolutely love them. And then of course there's kind of a new age of magicians coming in right now that I'm seeing a lot of that I think I know a lot of people who I'm lucky enough to know before that I think that they're going to eventually become household names. There's this guy, Harrison Greenbaum, who's a comedian and a magician. I absolutely love him. He's one of the funniest guys. He was on America's Got Talent. He was featured on Comedy Central, and he won the Andy Kaufman Award for I think it's originality in comedy. And I am counting down the days until this man becomes a household name. He is so funny. He is so good. Everything about his act is so tight. I'm waiting for that to happen. And there are a lot of guys that I know of about magic because a lot of guys in the magic community don't really perform. So there are a lot of names that I know that create the tricks behind the scenes, and you won't see a lot performing on stage per se, but they still play a vital role in creating all these things that you see so many people performing.
So we said you were going to try a trick on the podcast, and you said this one was suited to audio, so people don't have to see my mug on Facebook. yeah. We'll try it out because it's actually really hard because first of all, we're through the screen, so I have to do that. But also, whenever you're doing something over audio and you want to fool someone over audio, you can't just fool their eyes. You also have to fool their mind. So that's what we're going to try to do with everyone here. And so I have a deck of cards right here, and we'll do something with this deck of cards. Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dribble through these cards down like this. What I want you to do, just say stop somewhere in the middle.
Okay. Stop.
Stop right there. Now, do you want me to keep on going or do you want to stay there?
You can stay there.
Stay there. All right. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to show you the one card that you stopped at. You have it?
Okay, I got it.
Memorized? Perfect. Mm-hmm. Okay. So, on the count of 3, what you're going to do is you're going to say the name of your card out loud. And I'm going to say it too. We're going to say it together. Our minds are going to meld together. This is going to be amazing. Are you ready?
Okay.
Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
6 of hearts.
6 of hearts. Yes, I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Thank you. I knew it. I knew it. Perfect. Yes? Good?
Perfect.
Good? No, like the 6 of hearts is my favorite card.
Okay.
It is. It is my favorite card. And it is my favorite card because actually, you might be able to see this. I actually got a tattoo on my arm of one card, and you can confirm what card is that with a tattoo on my arm?
That would be the 6 of hearts tattooed on his arm.
That is the little 6 of hearts tattooed on my arm. I knew it. I promise you, I knew it. I knew it the whole time.
I'm not even going to try to figure that one out.
Yeah.
Or is close-up magic your favorite type of magic, or do you like the bigger stage illusion?
Yeah, so I actually started off with a lot of close-up, and close-up used to be all that I did. But when I used to do the restaurant when I was younger, but I'm definitely transitioning to more of the stage thing. That's some of the stuff that I absolutely love as of now. And I kind of only do close-up things now whenever my friends ask to see tricks. So it's definitely still something I love, but stage performances are becoming the only thing that I do now.
Okay. And a while back, I had another magician on, and he does danger stunts. And he was telling me that he's going to do one where there's fish hooks hooked up to his mouth, and the other end of the fish hooks are going to be attached to cars that are going to be driving away. So you're not ready for that yet, Jake, right?
That sounds terrifying. Now it'll be scary for me and my entire family watching. So yeah, that's always been something I've looked into. The most dangerous trick I do is not technically dangerous for me. Is I kind of have a phone. I put it to an envelope. I mix up the envelopes, and then the person from the audience picks an envelope, and whichever envelope they pick, smash it with a hammer, and then the last one left hopefully has their phone inside of it. So that's the most dangerous trick for much different reasons than the one with the fish hook.
Right. And I guess if you smash the wrong phone or then it becomes even more dangerous.
Thankfully, it has not happened yet. Knock on wood, it has not happened yet. I am terrified of the day it does. Well, hopefully it just never does. We'll just leave it at that. Hopefully it never Hopefully it never fails.
I will keep my fingers crossed for you there.
Thank you.
Because we know some people can't part with their phones. So
Yes.
make sure you get the right volunteer out of the audience who'll be like, well, I was going to train it in anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, just in case. Yeah, I should do that now. Just hands up if you're looking to give away and not trade in your phone. Get rid of it. If anything happens, we're good. Yeah, the first time I ever did it, when I was doing it for family, I made sure to do it with my phone because I was like, you know what? Because whenever you're trying out a trick for the first time, you don't know if it's going to work. You don't know if it's going to fail. So when I did that, it was I don't want there to be any chance of this to fail on someone else. So I'm going to do it with my own phone.
So now back to your podcast. Now there are other podcasts that you said you like listening to. So what would some be that you would recommend for folks? Because this is a podcast about podcasts.
Of course, yes. So one of the ones that I've been listening to a lot is a pretty big one. Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. One of my favorite comedy podcasts. It made me fall in love with Conan even more than I already did. Throughout quarantine, I did the entire library of all the ones that he's done up to this point. By far my favorite comedy podcast. And yeah, that is pretty much the main one that I listen to all the time.
Any other ones or?
Yeah, so the other one that I listen to, which is a good mix of kind of sports and stuff in the media. There's one called the Bill Simmons podcast. I love Bill Simmons. He talks a lot about basketball, football, and then he'll bring in people from the entertainment industry to talk about either stuff in entertainment or also joining him with the sports talk. So that's the other one that I've been listening to for quite a bit now.
And we have a portion of the show, and it's called Shameless Self-Promotion.
Shameless self-promotion.
And this is where you can let everybody know where they can follow you and get in touch with the show. And even if you want to let people know if they want to book you online or anything like that, if you're doing parties in local areas or something like that, I'm sure they definitely like to see it because that tattoo trick was really good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, it's all yours, Jake.
So where you can find me is on any social media at Jake Strong Magic. That's kind of the thing I use for everything. It's on Facebook at Jake Strong Magic, on Instagram at Jake Strong Magic. Of course, we have our website, as you could guess, www.jakestrongmagic.com. Currently, I am booking my virtual show. We're right here in the little, I call it studio in quotes, because it is my bedroom. It doubles as my bedroom. Where with this little set I built that kind of ties in with the show, where I have a ton of things hidden throughout the set. I love Pixar, so I make sure I have a little Woody behind me the entire show. So if you want to see the show, make sure you go to jakestrongmagic.com. Contact me. I would love to do a show for you. It's one of my favorite things to do. These virtual shows have been so much fun. And yeah, if you want to see my podcast, it's on any podcast network. 3 Questions with Jake Strong. Talking with a ton of magicians. And yeah, that's a lot of things I have to plug.
There you have it, folks. He will now vanish into thin air.
Yes, or turn my camera off on the Zoom. It's the same thing, right?
It's a camera trick. I knew it was a camera trick.
Yeah, it had to be.
Jake Strong, he's the host of 3 Questions with Jake Strong and the namesake of Jake Strong Magic. So check his site out. You will definitely be entertained. I can guarantee you that, folks. Jake, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so very much for having me.
Be a rebel. Follow the show at Sherpalution on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
And now it's time for Sherpa Suggestions.
Okay, so what can we do for this week's Sherpa Suggestions? A while back, when Anthony Prosciutti was on, we recommended some podcasts about magic. So I figured since Jake loves performing for kids, I figured let's recommend some podcasts for kids. And I found the website called commonsensemedia.org, and there was an article, and it was called The 25 Best Podcasts for Kids. So I figured I'd give you a little smattering of them, and if you've got a youngster in the car, maybe you want to check them out after you're done listening to the show. We have But Why, a podcast for curious kids, Smash Boom Best, Ear Snacks, The Past and the Curious, Story Time, What If World, The Alien Adventures of Finn Caspian, Eleanor Amplified, Wow in the World, Tumble, Saturday Morning Cereal Bowl, and Spare the Rock, Spoil the Child. Yeah, I guess you could probably play music podcasts for little kids, right? I mean, a little baby might want to hear some Lady Gaga. Okay, that was a bad joke. How about this? You know how you wake up, Lady Gaga? You poker face. Hey, thank you so much to Jake Strong for coming on down to the show. Check him out online and listen to his podcast, 3 Questions with Jake Strong. Next week, a little bit different. We will be talking to a competitive pole dancer. Pretty cool, huh? I never even knew that this was a sport, but now I do. Especially after this conversation with this lady, Renee. I think you'll be fascinated by what she has to say. So, if you like the show, please leave me a review on you-know-where, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher.com, or iHeartRadio. And you can listen to the show also on my website, Sherpalution.com. Also, follow me on Verbal, VURBL.com. Lots of really cool things going on in that podcast. It's a really great audio-oriented podcast. There are even audiobooks and speeches and ASMR thingies and all sorts of neat things. It's definitely a worthwhile site to check out, especially if you want to catch some interesting audio. And of course, there's lots of podcasts, including this one. All right, so I'm going to disappear right before your eyes. Mr. Bruce, put down the saw. You're not sawing me in half for the last time. I'm going to do poof and then disappear. Ready? 1, 2, 3, poof. There, I disappeared. Oh, they don't see me anyway. It's okay. Shh, don't make any noise. Just say Viva la Sherpalution. See you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Too Many Podcasts. Please disperse. You can go home now. I said you can go home now. Viva la Sherpalution. Viva la Sherpalution. Oh. Yo, come back now, you hear?